We're getting into map 1. Pride of Alteris. Ready to go. All right. All right, guys. This is a rematch from the WCS Grand Finals. World Champ. Oh, it wasn't the Grand Finals, excuse me. It was the round of 4. The WCS round of 4 World Championships at BlizzCon. And that was 2019 BlizzCon. Round of 4. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Pride of Alteris, we have our Dragon Phoenix Gaming Zerg player, Dark. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner, representing Alpha X. It's classic. So Dark not going for an early pool here. Seems pretty standard hatch gas pool for Dark. Classic. Low ground gateway. Looks like he's just going to take an expansion. So what do we expect to see in this series? Dark, obviously one of the best Zergs in the world. I think he's probably one of the few players that can handle Sky Toss just, like, solidly. I feel like he's got a very good anti-Sky Toss kind of control. I don't know how he's been playing against it lately, though. I'd be interested to see. Hopefully we get some of that today, because it's always cool to see how the top players handle things that are difficult for most of the rest of us, right? Like, obviously we're not going to be able to do what Dark can do, but maybe it can inspire somebody out in chat. And a lot of times I watch PvZs, man, and it just feels like the Protoss just crushes. But I don't think any Protoss, I don't think there's any player in the world that can play Dark and just crush. Dark is going to put up a hell of a fight. It's going to be a good series no matter what. Even if it's a 4-0 or whatever. I think Dark is still able to make the games all feel close. Yeah, so in BlizzCon, the round of 4 BlizzCon that I mentioned, Dark absolutely stomped Classic and then moved on to the finals to absolutely stomp Raynor. While Dark doesn't feel like he gets stomped in games very easily, he can often stomp his opponents very easily in games. This is a great start for him. He's going to catch these Adepts. The Adept trying to shade away. Not going to happen. That's a cute little corner. I don't think I ever really noticed this corner before. You get a cheeky cannon rush in this corner. I don't know why, but you could do it. Link's heading across the map. I like this for Classic. Already getting prepared to defend by shading backwards. It is a Void Ray opener. We'll see what the follow-up is for Classic. There are a lot of possibilities. And it's going to be tough for Dark to ever get a scout on what the Classic is actually doing. With the Oracle and the Void Ray here, the Lings can't really get anything done, so they're just going to run around and pull back for now. And Dark will just drone up. He's got an Evo Chamber on the way, which is a bit interesting on where that Evo Chamber is. Oh, it's in his main. Oh, that's +1. Yeah. +1 melee. This, guys, if you ever see an Evo Chamber in the main like this, 99% of the time, it's for +1 melee. And 1% of the time, they get Carapace. That's about it. It's never missile attacks. It's pretty much always melee. The Bane Nest goes down. So if Classic, if he had gone in, like if you see this, you know it's a +1 melee build, especially with the Baneness. There's nothing else it's going to be. +1 melee Banelings. And there's no lair for Dark yet. We're after 5 minutes in the game, so it's not going to be Bane's speed, at least not yet. 24 Lings on the way. Oh, he's going to go heavy aggro. Dark wants to get a cancel, get a kill on this third base. There is a cannon up on the way, but no shield battery just yet. I'm a little surprised by that. I think he's going to be able to do it. There are a few force fields, but there's not any real DPS to deal with Lings. Cannons are okay, but sentries and Void Rays they just don't kill Lings very well. The Oracle might be able to help. This is so many Lings. He's morphing the Banelings to the top side. He might just try to crack in the natural, actually. There's no shield battery here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so he's going to send the Lings in. Can he sneak through? Not quite. There's a lot of Lings. Ooh, Classic moving. The Banelings smashing through. They're going to hit the cannon as well. That cannon's going down. And Dark is just absolutely... Oh, he is busting through this wall. The wall is empty. Oh, look at the force field from the low ground. The three-pointer force field. I don't think it's going to last very long, but the Banelings have largely died. There's only one Baneling left here for Dark. The sentries will fall. This third base, I think, is just fully dead. I think Classic can afford to lose the third base, though. I actually think it's okay if he loses all this. It's not great, but he can do it. He's going to kill a lot of Lings while it's happening. And I like that he's just focused on defending this. Well, I don't know if I love the Warp in, but it is a Zealot. Maybe he can get something done here. The Baneling's going to smash in on top of everything, though, and that +1 melee just going to do so much damage here so quickly. But the natural seems pretty safe for right now. The third base is going to die. This was very expensive for Dark, but he got a lot of damage done as well. Lings are going to run away, but man, there are so many. Oh my god, excuse me. Sometimes the sneeze just gets you. Sometimes it just gets you. There's still a lot of Lings out on the map. 51 Lings. I love that Classic is going straight to Colossi. Holy Nikes. This pylon is very low on hit points. Lings are all running home. Oh, this is a dangerous move out right now for Classic. He's going to grab the third Nexus. He has a Twilight Council. He's gotten Blink. That is interesting. Unfortunately, it doesn't really help him against the Lings. But we've got Roaches coming out now. I do think Blink, Stalker, Colossus can be a pretty solid composition. We've seen that in the past. Before the Void Rays were buffed, it was actually a very popular thing to do, was Blink, Stalker, Colossi. So we could see that happening. Dark has, of course, gotten into a lair. He's got Roach Speed on the way, Bane Speed on the way. He was pretty committed with that attack, but he got enough damage done to make it worth it. And now he's up to 73 workers. Third base for Classic is still not ready. And I think that Classic just wasn't ready for that amount of Ling and Bane. He didn't quite have enough static defense, and he was trying to tech a lot during all of that, right? And that makes it really tough to hold. Ling's still posturing. The moment these units leave, I mean, there's nothing here to defend against Lings. There's no cannons, there's no shield batteries. Observer on the other side of the map is really keeping an eye on the fact that there's Roach Ravager here. I don't really think we have any Banes at the moment, but there's so many Lings that he could morph Banes at any point. And it looks like Dark's going to go for a full-on counterattack and just try to hold back at home with the Roach Ravager, which is, I will say, a bit scary. Creep is going to get cleared here. This is a very strong army from Classic. Probe's getting pulled away. The Banes are going to run in now. Ooh, there's no wall. There's no all Classic. Oh, Classic's not watching. Oh, he does split. Hey, you know what? 10 probes? That's a pretty big commitment here from Dark to get 10 probes. Classic's moving on the other side. He has bought Dark a lot of time to get more and more units up. Dark's going to get a bit of surround with the Zerglings. A lot of force fields going down, but the Biles taking those force fields down pretty much immediately. The hallucinated Archons here are actually huge. The Biles aren't really connecting with the army, so Classic is he's continuing to push through, but the Lings have gotten in and they are killing absolutely every probe. Classic doesn't need to win the fight. He needs to win the game with this army. And I don't know if he's going to be able to. Dark gets a full surround while Classic is looking back at home. And I think Dark has done enough to push this army back. And that's going to be game because Classic's pulling back to what? 16 probes. And that's just not enough. GG, Dark with the counterattack doing way too much damage. You know, if there was no counterattack and that was the army from Classic and it was just that going on, I think Classic's doing fine. Takes a good trade there maybe, but yeah, that counterattack absolutely crushing it. As we get into game 2 here, spawning in the upper right-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres, we have our red Zerg player for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Dark. And his opponent in the lower left-hand corner for Alpha X. It's Classic. Actually, if you use your Twitch Prime, you don't even have to pay any extra money. You get 1 free sub a month just for having Amazon Prime. All you have to do is connect your Amazon account with your Twitch account, and boom, you can hit the sub for free button every single month. As soon as the sub runs out, you get to hit the button again. You can use it here. You can use it anywhere you want. But make sure to use that Bezos money. Dark, obviously, taking a very strong game 1. That is, as much as I do love Classic, kind of how I expected this series to go. Dark's the kind of player that I feel like when he wins, he looks invincible. He looks unstoppable. And when he loses, he looks really, really good. He is such a strong player. And he's a very, like, aggressive player. Aggressive isn't quite the right word. He likes to headbutt into things. He likes to... he's a very Zergy player where he just makes a bunch of stuff, you know? It's a very Zerg style of play. He's going to go for the Korean third. Interesting. By that, I mean he takes a very fast third base here, around 2 minutes. Very interesting. This was in fashion maybe a year or 2 ago. We saw a lot of players doing these early thirds, and there can definitely be some good things to it. I mean, obviously you get the third base up sooner, so you get some more creep spread out here. That can help you out. You can start the queen up sooner, more larva quicker, but it means your queens are a little bit later, I think. Yeah, he's only going to have 1 queen up, second queen just starting. So that makes things like a proxy Stargate maybe a little bit scarier. You're not likely to have as many queens. This is really nice from Classic. Yeah, it wasn't spotted. I was a little concerned he did, but doesn't get the spot off. Dark on the other side of the map hasn't gone into the base, so he doesn't know that there's no pylon in there. He doesn't know that there's no tech in there. This looks pretty normal out front right now, but Dark has not bothered scouting, honestly, which is maybe a bit of a fault. I don't know. Dark has always been considered a bit of a cockier player. Somebody who's very confident and sometimes potentially overconfident. Well, let's see if this Oracle can get something done. The Queen has popped out, but there's no Spore in the main base. It just goes down right now. That's not the time you want to put the Spore down. Queen from the natural is going to pop up. Because of this map, there is creep connecting the bases, so Queen can get up here pretty easily. 5 drones going down, though. That's a really nice start here for Classic. And he's going to be able to get the Void Ray out as well, but that is going to be it. It's just going to be the Void Ray and the Oracle. Oracle does have some energy left. It could turn on to try to fight this, but doesn't feel like it's worth it. However, Classic's just going to grab a third. And you know what? Because he killed a few Lings, it's going to be a little bit harder. I mean, it's only 3 Lings, so maybe not the biggest deal. It's going to be a little bit harder for Dark to come across the map and punish this third. Classic back at home going to drop the Robo, the Twilight Council, and the Forge. Very, very similar to last game. I'll be interested if... I mean, Dark isn't going to do the same thing as last game. Oh, you know what? Let me bite my tongue there for a second. I was going to say he's not going to do the same thing as last game because he didn't have the Evo Chamber up here. But he drops it down low, and Dark's going to do the exact same thing as last game. And that is a very Dark thing to do. Oh, I killed you with this last game? I'll do it again. I'll probably kill you with it again. And I'll be honest with you guys, 100% he's right. Classic's doing the same build. Now, if Classic prepares for this... Oh my god, he's not going to scout it again. I can't believe this. The Oracle is going to get stopped from seeing the Evo Chamber and the Bane Nest. And I mean, that's the tell, right? The Evo Chamber working and the Bane Nest at this point, no lair. That's the tell. That's how you know this is coming. Cheekily gets a probe. And Classic needs static defense. Like, I'm pretty sure cannons and shield batteries can defend against this. But I'm not 100% because he doesn't have any more Void Rays coming out, so he can only warp in ground units, which the +1 Ling Bane will just smash. As we saw last game, he's not going to have, there's not going to be Colossi on the way. He's trying to get into a Templar Archive, so Archons are actually going to be sick here. Archons are, they might be just straight up goated here. The Baneling's going to smash through the wall, though, and this natural has nothing in it, which means that's going to be a lot of dead probes. He can pick up 8 probes in the Prism. I'd love to see it. Oh my god, please pick up 8 probes in the Prism. No, he just leaves them there, dude. 11 probes going down. A few more probably going to fall in the main. They're turning to fight for a second, but the Archon will come up here and defend it. The Archons, man, are so good. But now the third is very left alone. No Banes with this, though, so the Zealots can actually take an okay fight, even against the +1 melee Lings. They don't mind trading out. And you know what? Much better defense so far from Classic. The Charge Lot Archon defense is on point. The fact that he was like, okay, I think like this is Dark. He might just go Ling Bane again. I want to get something to defend against that. And he was ready to go with the Prism and the 2 Archons. Actually sick play. So good from Classic. And look at this. He's got to be careful. Like, Dark has to be careful because he's losing a lot of Lings. He's lost 54 Lings already. And Classic's going to push across the map with Archons and Charge Lots against Ling Bane. There's Roaches coming out now. Now, the Banes can be obviously really good against the Charge Lots. The Prism means he should be able to get at least 2 of these Archons out of here, theoretically. I think Dark's okay. I don't know if Classic wants to push in. As I say that, he just goes for it, man. Zealot's trying to pull back and split against the Banes. Then they go right back in and clump up on top of them. The Archon's dying pretty quickly here. And yeah, the Queen's going to help Dark a lot. He should be able to get some of these units out of here. Oof. Gotta be careful with that Prism, though. Runs a few Zealots away. Picks up 2 Zealots and the Archon. The last remaining Archon in the Prism. Trades slightly better for Classic. Oh my god, that Prism. Oh! Okay, the Queen's turn and fight the Zealots. Good target fire on the drones here. Gets a few drones off the backside of that. The worker count's actually dead even, which is generally speaking very good for Classic. But he doesn't have a 4th base, so that's something Dark has. And Dark can drone right on up now. Classic is getting into a Classic composition, guys. This is Charge Lot Immortal Archon with Storm on the way. He's got +2 almost done, which is pretty big. I love the stasis trap here. Actually, okay. Look at this. The stasis trap with the wall open, the Lings will run in, and then they'll wall off themselves. Yo, this stasis trap is actually the biggest brain thing I have ever seen. They'll wall themselves off because they'll freeze in the wall, and then the rest of the Lings can't come in. Yo. And then you have plenty of time to warp in units back here. You got a shield battery. You're cruising. This is so good. What? How have I never seen anybody do this? And Dark's the kind of person that will try to run by you with Lings. Now we'll see. He's going to have to replace it because this is going to run out in like 15 seconds. And Dark is, I mean, not going to counterattack right now. Maybe we won't see it happen, but I love that idea. This is honestly such a good idea, especially if you are pretty confident your opponent's going to counterattack. This is so sick. I hope he builds another one there. He doesn't have energy right now, but I hope he does. Got some Zealots going to hit in the main base. There are roaches here, though, so Zealot's got to run away. A Spire goes down. We'll see if Classic's able to get the scout on that Spire. Kind of interesting. I wonder if Dark's planning on going for a big Muta switch, or if this is for Corruptors against... I mean, it could be for Corruptors to like help against a Prism. It could be for, 8 Mutas or something, which can often be really good. Your opponent isn't expecting it. Archons aren't that great at dealing with Muta Harass. Neither are Blink Stalkers, which we don't even have Blink. But Pathogen Glands is on the way as well. We could see a Hive and Greater Spire. Broodlords are definitely an answer to this style of ground toss. And I'm really surprised Classic is still chilling. Oh, big Stasis Ward over here on the left side. Can the Veins get anything done? No, they're just going to run away. And you know what? Dark is max, so he's not going to use this Spire right now. Maybe it's just to get it up. It's always good. Always good to have. The Hive does start up, so Greater Spire is a potential. I like the single Corruptor, because this Corruptor has one job, and it's to kill this Prism. So push the Prism away. That's good. It'll at least force a recall. But Classic is maxed. And looks like there's a big counterattack being set up that could definitely get some big damage done. Oh, I wish he put the Stasis Trap back here again. This was the coolest. I love that. I don't know, man. I love it. Oh, Classic going to turn around to try to deal with this counterattack. Baneling smashing onto the Super Shield Battery. A trap catches some of the Zerglings. Probe's starting to go down here. Oh my god, the Archons can't make it through. It looks like Dark's not paying attention. Loses all the rest of those Lings. Few Zealots going to stick around for when the Stasis Trap runs out. At the same time, Dark's moving in. There was a Fungal, but Storms and the feedbacks are going to be really, really crucial here. Fungals can be really good if you hit the High Templar. They can't really tank very many Fungals. I don't know how many they can tank, but maybe 2. I don't remember how much damage a Fungal does, but they've only got 80 hit points. Baneling's starting to smash in. Those are some really good Storms. Are there more Storms left over? God, the Immortal count, still 9 Immortals left alive, and Dark just has nothing to deal with that army. Classic. Tying up the series 1-1, man. With the Classic composition, Charge Loud Immortal Archon. He's like, dude, this is a good composition. Turns out, having 10 Immortals, which I saw at least 1 die, so we definitely had at least 10. Having 10 Immortals is pretty good. It's a good strat. Everything on the ground just kind of melts. Nothing really kills that very easily. The Archons protect against a Ling Flood or something. Yeah. That composition is super sick. I'm really surprised Dark didn't try to get into either quicker into the Hive for Broods or into Lurkers, but against 10 Immortals. I just don't think he knew exactly what composition he was up against until maybe it was a little too late, because that was a hell of a composition. But nothing crazy. It was just, I don't know, it was your standard. Let's hop into game number 3. We're all tied up. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Curious Minds, we have Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Dark. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner, representing Alpha X, it is Classic. The chin still got it, dude. He stored all of his skill in that chin. And it held strong. Honestly, Classic has had one of the most impressive comebacks from the military. Feels a lot like when Beyond came back. And was just really good. Like, Classic, it hasn't been that long, and it feels like he's able to go toe-to-toe with a lot of the best players. He's not quite at, like, beating the best players level. I don't think I would call him, you know, best Protoss in the world. Not quite even top 3. Top 5, though, like top 7. Yeah, I definitely think he's up there, which is very impressive for somebody who had to take an, you know, 18 or 20-month hiatus or whatever. Is this a cannon rush? Oh my god, this is a real cannon rush. Guys, what am I doing? What am I looking at here? Classic! Oh my god, look at him go. Is that a wall? Nah, it is. It absolutely is. We've already got one cannon that will definitely get up. Oh, I love he replaces the pylon with a new cannon. Dark might be able to chew through that, though. He can get 3 drones on it. He's going to have to let the second pylon finish. More cannons going up. I think he's got to cancel this one. Will this cannon finish? He cancels both of them. Oh, my God. The probe. Oh, it takes a lot of damage. No, the cannon. Wait, did he cancel this pylon? Oh, my God. Classic. There was a pylon here. He canceled it. He was absolutely going to have one cannon up. Dark holds that off. Classic goes for the cannon rush. And it just doesn't work. And now, I mean, how do you hold? There's 8 lings coming your way. And Dark's just going to take a third behind this. Oh, I love it, dude. Oh, that's so good. Put the pressure on and just grab the third. Cruising. There is a single Adept out. Ooh, trying not to let the Adept get surrounded there. And it looks like Dark will give up on the pressure, so Classic allowed to take the base. Ooh, that's an interesting pylon. Is Cure versus Zest going to wait for this series to finish? I hope so. Unfortunately, I have no say in the matter. It's kind of up to the admin. In the past, I've seen them hold it when there's only one commentator, or if both commentators. If there's 2 commentators and we're both in one series, they will ask one of us to leave. I've done that before. I've left one semis midway to cast the other one. But when there's only one of us, they should hold it for us. But it depends on the admin. Depends on the admin. I don't really have contact with them right now, so we shall see. Dark just kind of keeping an eye on what's going on. He's got a lot of lings around, so Classic's got to be careful. But I think Classic's fine. Oh my god, Disruptor drops. Oh, Classic pulling out the strats here. God, this is why we love Classic. Like, Classic can play a very standard by-the-books game and look damn good doing it. And then the next game he can cannon rush, fail the cannon rush, get into a fine spot anyways, Disruptor drop. Classic is rated the number 8 Protoss on Eligulac right now after Zest, Trap, Showtime, Max Packs, Parting, Zound, and Hero. I would put Classic above Hero. I would put Classic maybe above Parting right now. I love Parting. I don't know that I've seen Parting play better than Classic recently. Maybe above Zound, but Zound tends to perform pretty well in big tournaments. Like Super Tournament last year, he did really well. So it's tough. I would actually put Classic maybe a little higher than that. But a lot of it comes down to matchups and depends. It depends. Well, he gets 1 queen. Yeah, not, you know, it's nice. You get a queen. Dark now knows exactly what he's up against. I don't think I'd put Hero that high. The Ligula's pretty good, but it's not 100%. I think I'd put Classic above Hero. But Hero's PvP is really good. And a lot of times in these cups where Hero plays a lot, he's up against other Protosses, so he can take down big names. Like, Hero can beat Zest. He didn't today, but I think it was 2-1. You know, Hero can beat, like, Creator. Hero can beat a lot of players in PvP. I don't know if I would say that his PvT or his PvZ look as good as Classics, so. There's going to be a third queen going down. Oh, he whiffs it! He whiffs the shot. Well, gets 2 queens. The third base in a lot of trouble. Got Zealots warping in, but the Zealots don't clean this up very quickly. That's going to be a cancel base. And he's going to have to replace it. I think Ligulac is quite good. I think you can say like maybe 85%. It's pretty solid, which considering it's just a statistics page, is very good. He's gonna have to recall. Gets 3 drones, loses the prism. We'll just recall the disruptors back. Not the biggest deal. Losing the prism's unfortunate, but those disruptors, they got some good damage done. One has 2 kills, one has 5. 3 drones, 2 queens. Sure, okay. I don't know. It's okay. It's not great. We got Void Rays behind this, though. Looks like no, it's double Stargate. Excuse me. Double Stargate Void Ray being pumped out. And the Lings are going to spot that. So these Lings from Dark, obviously canceling the third is great. But more importantly than that, they're scouting on what's going on. Oof, Dark going for a big counterattack, though. That's a lot of Road Ravager, guys. He's got a Spire coming up behind this as well. I'm worried for Classic right now. I don't think these Zealots have charge, and even if they did, I don't know if it'd be enough. The shield battery gets taken down immediately. Now, there's no queens with this. Okay, the disruptors can be huge here. Dark knows that, though. He's trying to stay under that prism. The third base is absolutely dead, right? Oh, one disruptor goes down. I think the other one didn't really get a shot off, though. The Void Rays need to dodge the Biles. They've done an okay job. They've taken some bile damage, but he's killing a lot of stuff. The problem is Dark is not doing this on like 35 drones. Dark's on 63 drones. He's kind of cruising right now. That being said, he did just lose a lot to kill that third base. But I think it's worth it. I think he's got enough workers where it's fine. He can pull back. He's got queens at home to defend against the Void Rays, and he can send the Lings right back across the map. And there's not much here to defend against them. Oh my god, that Stalker. Oh, he gets it in the wall. Dark buys him. Dark gives him enough time to get that in the wall. But this third base is going to be canceled again. After just being killed. Void Rays on the other side of the map trying to fight. There is a disruptor with this as well. There's the cancel on the third. There's a lot of Lings, but again, it's worth it for Dark. And Classic's in a lot of trouble right now. He's going to hit a couple of queens, but they just transfuse back up. There's still enough queens to fight the Void Rays. They still have enough energy to transfuse. And Classic, he's got to get out of here and try to go somewhere else. And there's 9 Corruptors coming out for Dark. I think Dark's about to take game number 3. It started with a failed cannon rush for Classic, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to pull it back. I mean, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Classic's got an army. He's on 44 probes. So he's not, like, just super dead. But he's got to get out of here. The problem is, I don't know if he has a recall. He just uses Prismatic Alignment, too. Oh, my God. Oh, he's dead. Oh, the third base is gone. There's no third. GG. GG. That is it. But it's a best of 5. In case you thought by that is it, I meant the series. No, just the game. Now we go to game 4. Dark on match point. Classic has proven that he can take a game. I will say game 2 felt really weird. But it was a good start to the defense, the start of that game. So I think Classic can do it. But it's tough. Dark is an extremely difficult opponent. We're talking about Classic maybe being top 5 Protoss? Top 7, top 8? Dark is, at worst, the number 4 Zerg in the world. You could maybe say maybe number 5. maybe give him number 5. Scarlet was looking damn good at in DreamHack season finals. But, well, even there, though, Dark was top 4 Zerg, right? It was just that who Raynor wasn't in, right? So, I think Dark at his worst, has been top 4 Zerg in the last few years. And at best has been best player in the world. So, it's tough, man, for Classic, who's just coming back. And even before Classic left, Dark was a tough opponent for him. But let's get into game number 4 and see if he can finish it off and go to the finals here on Berlingrad for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. In the upper left, we have Dark. World Champion 2019, Dark. And his opponent in the lower right-hand corner is Alpha X's Classic, with some very interesting strategies today. Honestly, none of these games have been standard. Game 1 was probably the closest thing to a standard game that I've seen from Classic so far in this series. But even that felt a little off. The single Void Ray into immediate Twilight Forge Robo is a bit strange to me. Like, a lot of times we'll see a Twilight after the single Stargate, right? You get Charge, you get Glaives, maybe you get Blink. Maybe you'll get a Robo with that. Maybe you'll get a Forge with that. You usually don't get all 3, though. That was very, not quite greedy out of Classic, but a little bit greedy. And Dark in Game 1 was able to really take advantage of that with his +1 melee build. Game 2, though, Classic was like, I think you're going to do it to me again. And he immediately got prepared. He went straight for the Archons and was able to defend that early aggression from Dark and take almost no damage. He lost a few probes, but he killed like 50 lings. So Dark suddenly put himself behind and was just not quite able to climb out of that hole by the time that Classic moved across the map with a fully maxed Charge Light Immortal Archon army with Storm. Now, game number 4 here. I mean, things look pretty standard. Nothing at this point of the game is really going to give us much of an idea of what's happening. Link speed is on the way, but it's kind of up to Dark. If he feels like he can crush through Classic, he will just make a million lings and go. He'll just do it, man. Dark is not afraid. Dark doesn't afraid of nobody. Aligalac rates Dark as the number 2 Zerg. Yeah, I think a lot of times I would agree with that. I will say I don't necessarily agree right now. Thank you, Hydra, for the brand new fresh subscription. Welcome, my friend, to the Cockflock. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I don't know if I put Dark as number 2 Zerg right now. I think right now I might say Rogue and Serral. 1 and 2. In that order. Dark, I'd either say Dark is 3 or 4 at the moment. But like, these guys at the top are so close and have been for so long that I don't even really think ranking them makes sense most of the time. Like, it feels like day to day. You know, if these guys played a best of 7 against each other, all of them, all those like top players who have been, you know, holding the number 1 best player in the world spot on and off for the last few years, I think every day that best of 7 would come out differently between all of them. I feel like you just constantly have people shifting around, and it's just because they're all so damn good. And I think it can really vary game to game. You might get a series where one player just crushes 4-0, but it's almost like it's happenstance. You know what I mean? Like, they happen to have a great day and the other player happen to have a not great day. But even on that, it still feels like it's a close match most of the time. And it's, I don't know, they're all so good. Ranking them just doesn't seem to do justice to how strong they are as players. And Dark's Classic, rather, is going to do the exact same thing here. And more gates going down, but it's Twilight Forge Robo off the single Stargate. Dark it's literally games 1 and 2. This is the same thing as games 1 and 2. Now, is Classic going to be expecting the +1 melee Bane build again? At this point, I think he should. Dark did it twice in a row. Why wouldn't he do it again? But this looks different. Dark's moving across the map with queens. Okay, Dark's all-inning the third base. There's no more drones coming out. Not for a hot minute anyways. Yeah, this is an all-in from Dark. So this is like game 2, but he's going straight in for the all-in. Charge is on the way. There's a Darktron on the way. That's not going to be done in time for this, though. It could, if Classic's able to hold on, the Darktron could be actually sick. Because there's not a lot on the defense. But I don't think Classic holds on, guys. He's getting cannons and shield batteries up. He needs backup pylons. But even with them, I don't know if it's going to be enough. The force fields are sick, though. Oh, my God. The Banelings stopped from coming in and smashing on the cannons. More Banes being morphed, though. How many force fields are left? 0. There are 0 force fields. Stasis Trap catches 1 Ling. The pullback from Dark was insane. The Baneling's going to start smashing through. They take out some of the shield batteries. There are still cannons and 1 shield battery up, though. Is there an overcharge available? There is. It turns on. But the ground army for Classic is basically nothing at this point. And I don't think he can just keep holding on here. More Lings spilling across the map. And he doesn't really have any anti-Ling measures. And this Void Ray has to fight 5 queens on its own, 6 queens on its own. And I don't think he can stand up to 6 queens. The Oracle does turn on. It's just going to fight the Lings and Banes back here. The whole position's real. The Baneling's going to start smashing through, though. And it looks like the final cannon will go down. There's an Immortal up on the high ground. But that's not going to be all that good against the Lings here. And Classic, it looks like his third base is going to get run over. Lings trying to get into the natural. They actually don't. They don't really make it in, even with the Baneling smashing. There's more Lings coming across the map, but remember when I said Dark wasn't going to drone? He didn't. He has not. The Transfuse is going to hold really, really well. This Immortal trying to find a cheeky little spot in here. Overcharge is available again, but the shield battery is super vulnerable. It looks like the Immortal is just going to die. Again, there's still Transfuse energy on some of these queens. Okay, Super Shield Battery. I can't believe he's doing the Super Shield Battery right here. It's such a bold move. Baneling's trying to morph on the front lines. They aren't going to get up, but the Shield Battery goes down. There's 1 cannon and Shield Battery to fall back to. Classic is somehow holding here. Dark says, I need to kill this third base. Even if I lose everything, if I kill the third, I'm okay. And I think he's right. But if Classic winds up with units left to fight and all the queens go down, Classic might be able to push across the map. But he's got nothing, man. He might just have to retake this third base. He does have a Dark Shrine, though. We haven't seen any DTs warp in, have we? I don't think we have. We have no DTs. No DTs have died. We could see a DT counterattack. Lair is on the way. There are Spore Crawlers, so I don't think the DTs would be able to just go win the game, but DTs can be really, really strong. Dark tries to get in on that third base. Classic not going to let it happen. But Classic is on full ground army right now. Oh, why is Dark going into roaches? He just saw 3 Immortals. What am I looking at? Okay. Well, I don't like this for Dark. It's a very Dark thing to do, but I don't like it. DT is going to try to hit the main. This is 4 DTs. This can get a significant amount of damage done. There should be... There's no Overseer. Obviously, there's a possibility for it because there's a lair, but... DT's going to dive in. They're going to kill this Spore Crawler, but the Overseer will finish morphing soon. Oh my god, this Prism is so low. You know what? A Bane just got used on a DT. It's not really that great. Classic going to recall. I think he saw how many units there were, and he's probably worried Dark's going to attack because I don't know if you guys know this, but Dark is an aggressive Zerg player. But Classic's getting right back into the same army he won with in Game 2. Charge Lot Immortal Archon Storm. And Dark's just building the same units he lost with in Game 2. I don't understand. This is the most Dark thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, what units does my opponent's army counter? Ling, Bane, Roach. Okay. Well, I'll make a few Ravagers then, and we'll be good. No, dude! And then the Storm is so good against Ravagers, because they're not armored. So they take quite a bit of damage from Storm. They don't do particularly well against any of this. Like, they're fine. But it's not like they're anything special. Ravagers don't hard counter any of this. I can't believe Classic's going to try to take this north base. That is such a bold move when Dark's literally expanding along the top side. It's an immediate cancel. Classic's army it's just better. But he's got a lot less of it. So there is that. +2 Banes are about to finish. +2 melee, that is. Which means we could see Bane run-bys or Bane drops or something cool like that. We'll see. Dark is the kind of player that he has the ability to have a lot of finesse with his army, but oftentimes he, like, chooses not to. He's like, finesse? What if instead I just don't? And I just bully my way in. Classic holding the top of this ramp. I don't think Dark can go up here. Well, those High Templar are going to get a little bit of trouble. I mean, Dark could try for a full wraparound. There's no force fields or anything. Biles actually connects super nicely on that Immortal. Oh my god, the Storms. Storms are pretty good on this army, but that's all the Storms available right now. Classic's just going to go for it, man. He's like, come at me, bro. And Dark says, okay, and then lands Biles on absolutely everything. Do you remember, guys, when I was like, Ravagers aren't good against any of this? And then Dark was like, screw you, streamer. I'm going to prove you wrong. And he just lands Biles on the entire front line of the army. He's going to pull drones to confuse the Immortals into shooting the drones when they should be shooting the Ravagers. The Warp and the Zealot's going to be pretty good here, but I don't think there's enough for Classic to hold on. Look at Dark's reinforcements. Oh my god, dude. Dark is just too good. And Classic's going to have to tap out. GG. I think going in, dropping those Storms on a handful of units, and then just leaving, I don't think it worked out for him. GG, yo. Dark takes the 3-1 victory. I don't think any of us are surprised that Dark won. I do think Classic put up a very good fight, and Dark won in the most Dark style possible by making a bunch of layer tech units and winning the game. Hatch tech units, even, and winning the game. December 2020 to June 2021, Trav was looking like he could claim to be the best player in SC2. He was looking very strong. I mean, I still think he's very strong. Somebody said he's ranked 13 on Aligulac. That's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if Aligulac quite has it. It has to do with, like, how much he's won or lost in the last, you know, in more recent times. But I don't think that's a super good indication sometimes. Well, it's hard to say.